me tomorrow. Who'd have thought the ground we stand on?
We found something extraordinary and disturbing, that is. You recall what you said about how polar melting might disrupt the North Atlantic current?
Yes.
Well, I think it's happening.
Folks, we've hit some unusual turbulence. We've encountered a cloud layer that's abnormally high.
You all right?
Please remain.
He's afraid of flying.
The government has to start making long-term preparations now.
Jack, all you have is a theory.
It's been raining like this for 3 days now.
Mr. Vice President, if we don't act now, it's going to be too late.
We are no longer dealing with a problem of awareness. Everyone is very aware of global warming. However, it is either an apocalyptic criticism that is full of guilt or a horrible, weightless joke. The problem of global warming is an abstract one. For example, this past winter was unseasonably warm, but was it because of global warming or was it just an off-season? The crisis exists in numbers and graphs that scientists make, opposed to the problems of poverty and equality which we have all seen or been affected by. The global warming crisis has been handled in such a scientific way because the scientists have been forced to focus on these indestructible facts that are firm and true because of billion-dollar industries such as oil and energy companies who are trying to deny these facts the scientists have.
Man-made global warming. It could be warming and it's going to start to cool at some point. And, you know, in the 1920s, people talked about global cooling. I don't know if you know that or not. They thought the Earth was cooling. Now it's global warming. And actually, we've had times where the weather wasn't working out, so they changed it to extreme weather, and they have all different names, you know, so that it fits the bill. But the problem we have, if you look at, you know, our energy costs and all of the things that we're doing to solve a problem that I don't think in any major fashion exists. I mean, Obama thinks it's the number one problem of the world today, and I think it's very low on the list. So I am not a believer, and I will, unless somebody can prove something to me, I believe there's...
The excuse of it being an abstract problem only goes so far to explain the problem we have with climate control. For example, death is very abstract, yet we have spent years imagining it and humanizing it. I believe part of the issue is the term climate control. Such a passive and harmless sounding term, it also suggests that there is a problem larger than us. A problem about economics, science, and the forces of nature. Nothing that involves our society or the choices we make day to day. It becomes a problem that doesn't involve us anymore. We've cordoned it off. Perhaps because the reality is too painful and hopeless. It's a reality that the society we have has a crack running right through it, making our world unsustainable and broken.
Increase in the Earth's temperature. It is estimated to have gotten 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit warmer in just the last century. 10 out of the last 13 years were the warmest on record. 97% of climate scientists agree that this new tendency is not caused by the variations of the Earth's orbit, but rather very likely caused by human activities. That means you and me.
Swedish scientist Svante Aronhes proposed a relationship between the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and temperature. After proposing this, he suggested that human activities could warm the Earth by adding CO2 to the atmosphere. This is the greenhouse effect. However, this idea wasn't verified until 1987. It's clear from extensive scientific evidence that the dominant cause of the rapid change in climate of the past half-century is human-induced increases in the amount of atmospheric greenhouse gases. The American Meteorological Society. The scientific understanding of climate change is now sufficiently clear to justify taking steps to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. The U.S. National Academy of Sciences. The evidence is incontrovertible. Global warming is occurring. If no mitigating actions are taken, significant disruptions in the Earth's physical and ecological systems, social systems, security, and human health are likely to occur. We must reduce emissions of greenhouse gases beginning now. The American Physical Society. Climate change is as serious as science is telling us, and we need to take action. Gas-smart cars such as hybrids and fully electric vehicles save fuel and money. And once all cars and light trucks meet 2025's Clean Car Standards, which means averaging 54 miles per gallon, they'll be here to stay, and for good reason. A national fleet of vehicles averaged only 28.3 miles per gallon in 2011, and Americans will spend 80 billion less at the pump each year and cut their automotive emissions by half. Choosing to live in walkable cities and towns with quality public transportation leads to less driving, less money spent on fuel, and less pollution in the air. Also, less frequent flying can make a big difference too. Air transport is a major source of climate pollution, and if you could take a train instead, you should. This is no longer a problem of awareness. We are all aware of global warming or climate control. We just don't want to talk about it because it's scary and hard. Imagine the world as a party and climate change is the guy who showed up already wasted, keys in pocket, claiming to be sober enough to drive everyone home. We don't want to stop him and potentially ruin all the fun at the party, but we need to start talking about it before he drives his car through the living room wall.